I'll talk to you later. See ya. What do we got, Mads?
Goddamn son.
What now?
I need to keep over 100 people.
Why don't I
You can do that?
What's good for you is good for me.
You had any trouble with the roadblocks?
No, thank God, but I heard a bunch of us are trapped on the far side.
What is Max doing, bringing soldiers into Hell? He's got Sentinel telling us. Sentinel will...
Now that the AI's been let loose, what'll happen next?
It's gone wild. By definition, it's unpredictable. Your guess is as good as mine.
But you've known all the factors, the conditions from the beginning.
Yes, I always had a feeling this would happen. It was trust, really. A lingering hope that they would be able to control it, like they said they would. It's hard not to feel cynical about that hope now.
So that's it. That's all you have to say.
I can't deny that this outcome serves some. Maddox, for example, must be having a field day.
Great. Should I pop the champagne then? Sounds like a real party. Why the fixation on the R&D center? Project Omega.
Omega was a secret project initiated after the terrorist attack.
The Outcast attack.
Skell only selected his top-performing employees for it. He demanded utmost loyalty. Blind loyalty, because Omega went against everything Aroa stood for.
He needed to know Project Omega would be in the right hands.
And stay in the right hands. The R&D Center is the heart of the whole lethal drones operation. The fount of all ideas, all designs.
You seem to know a lot about it.
I used to work there.
Ah, it all makes sense now.
Reserve your judgments. Look, they have an army of scientists whose sole purpose is to engineer a mechanical superkiller.
That's a lot of manpower.
Brain power. Just think of what all that gray matter could have accomplished under the right encouragement. They corrupted noble intentions.
Huh. What's that saying again? The road to hell is paved or something?
I suffer every day for my mistakes. I will never forgive myself.
Well, maybe that's a start then. Nowhere to go from here but up. Still don't get how Skell could be interested in both Maddox and you. You're like night and day.
I would have said the same. Maddox was my opposite in every way, but here we are, both working on controlling killer drones.
Well, that's hardly a resemblance.
Still goes to show how stars can realign given the right circumstances. Skell always was the kind to trust his instincts.
Doesn't matter if you're doing the same things. The motivation behind them make all the difference.
I left my noble intentions behind a long time ago.
So how do you really feel about Project Deus?
Project Deus is a sect. Almost a cult. It's ridiculous.
Oh?
There are no gods in machines. Computers are tools, nothing more. They obey and carry out what we will of them.
Don't hold back now.
It's infuriating. Sadly, there is a certain power in what Maddox is trying to do. She has influence, and it has gotten her far.
What happens next?
I don't know. She's unstoppable when she puts her mind to something. All we can hope for is divine intervention before things get dangerous.
You all right? Sentinel must have been an ordeal.
They are the filthy scum of the earth. Everything's been worse since they came to Aroa. Security?
That bad, huh?
They're an occupational force here to control and intimidate.
Seems to be working. They've got a lot of people scared.
Some are starting to push back. I might not be a fighter like you are, but I will always resist them, whatever way I can. That's why I built the energy cell for the outcasts.
And that went to hell in a handbasket.
You don't need to remind me. I just wanted them to have a source of electricity that wasn't hijacked from the Skell network. Keep them truly off-grid. One thing's for sure. I need to take better care in who I trust.
Okay. So, what is World 2.0? I mean, what is it to you?
Imagine if you had the power to solve all of the world's problems through technology, innovation, and sustainable development. World 2.0 is an opportunity for us to re-establish the link between mankind and the environment.
So, a utopia.
A utopia is unrealistic. Do I dream of a perfect world? Yes, but I'll settle for a better one. The joy of people coming together to achieve something bigger than themselves. That's the goal. A place where everyone can be the best version of themselves.
You make it sound lovely. Hey, Madeira, you know anything about the composite factory? The one in Smuggler Coves?
Yes, that's where they produce all the raw materials needed to build the drones. All of the alloys, plastics, and composites. You know, like carbon fiber and epoxy. It all happens in that factory. It plays a pretty vital role in the process and manufacturing of the drones.
How are they able to get all of those materials and resources?
They're extracted from the local mines and then reprocessed. It's a pretty over there, actually.
That open pit mine in Mount Hodgson seems pretty unusual for a place like this.
It's not that unusual, actually. All the mines of Aroa are open-pitted. There are a lot of mines on other islands, but Aroa is really a geological anomaly. We have such an extremely high concentration of minerals that open-pitted mining made the most sense. Of all the different types of mining methods, it has the highest yield. I don't love the impact it has on the landscape or the environment, but it's the most cost-effective choice.
Those mines seem ripe for exploitation and profit.
They are. The brain matter of the drones, the very motherboards and electronics, are crafted from the minerals of those mines. It's simply an invaluable resource.
The Arrow. That flying drone test zone in restricted area 01. What else do you know about it?
Oh, that place? They call it the Arrow because it's shaped like the edge of an arrow. Go figure, right? Anyway, yes, it's where they launch the drones and test how they operate at low altitudes. The drone's AI is challenged by the topography of fjords, which is why that area was specifically chosen for testing.
So is the platform built into a mountain or something?
Yes, actually. It's built on the side of a mountain on the edge of the fjords. They come and go from a platform hidden right in the middle of the mountain range.
Fascinating. There's a recycling facility on Aroa, yeah?
There sure is. Skell had this vision of making Aroa completely autonomous and self-sufficient. The recycling program was right at the heart of that. Almost everything here can be recycled and reused.
What about the things that can't be recycled?
Well, there are a few vintage objects, hazardous elements, and pieces that can't be directly recycled. Those things are sent by autonomous ships to the Windy Islands. It's a cluster of small islands, just south of the archipelago. There's a more robust recycling center there. It's mostly deserted.
Which is probably why the outcasts decided to set up their base there.
That makes sense. It's an ideal location, really.
Is it just me, or is there this real Area 51 vibe about the training center in that restricted area?
You've been watching too many of those old sci-fi shows, but I get why it makes you feel uneasy. That training center's a huge area for drone testing. It's like those old US nuclear testing sites from the 1950s. There's a test zone about the size of a small city that's filled with fake buildings. It helps the drones train for urban defense scenarios.
Or urban invasion scenarios.
I don't know about all that, but soldiers from Sentinel Corp do use it to train alongside lethal drones. It's all very top-secret, hush-hush stuff. Done to preserve the safety and integrity of Aroa.
Oh, I get it. There's a detention center by Liberty. What's the history behind it?
It's basically a jail. It's fairly modernized, heavily guarded, and very protected. After the Outcast bombing, Sentinel Corp built it to lock up those people who threatened the security and safety of people living on the archipelago.
Well, I'm sure Sentinel only has the best of intentions.
Well, it's pretty ominous, actually. The people living there are just waiting for the law to decide what to do with them. I think it's inhumane.
Dollars to donuts, Sentinel sure as hell won't give him a fair trial. Stay safe.
You too.
I don't want to fight. I want to go cross. Fight might come.
What is going on with these drone swarms? Did your program introduce a glitch or something?
It's, the drone swarm AI. That one swarm controller in particular, it went autonomous. Like, completely autonomous. Sentinel doesn't control it.
But neither do we.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Not necessarily. It's still running Operation Citadel, and it's also running a lot of other subroutines. But we've been locked out again. We have no access to the program.
Plain English, genius. What's gonna happen with this AI, and will it let us off this island?
The AI is demonstrating emergent behavior. You can't anthropomorphize it. It doesn't think the way people do. It can't let us do anything. But it doesn't make it less amazing.
In other words, we're shit out of luck. Grace Maddox is a piece of work. I don't see how you two get along.
Well, she's brilliant. Her work at Project Deus will change the very nature of humanity.
She certainly thinks so. She's popular around the water cooler.
Some people are afraid of her work, but humans have always tried to be more than human. I mean, a student takes amphetamines to focus. An athlete does steroids to be stronger.
And what does a computer do for you?
Hey, in the 60s, a bunch of hippies in Menlo Park had the belief that personal computers could expand the consciousness of the general public. It started with personal computers. And now, everyone around you is carrying a little piece of glass in their pocket that can grab any fact ever. You want to know what the surface of Pluto looks like? Look it up on your phone. We've already evolved past Homo sapiens.
Pluto got shafted. Still a planet in my book. I'm gonna miss Fox.
I already do.
What was his job, anyway?
He was a mathematician, but unofficially, he was the Pexplo Man.
What is that? Some indie superhero reference?
Pexplo Man is an abbreviation for the Perpetual Exploding Man. It's the title of an old sci-fi novel we both read. It's about a telepathic private eye, very inside joke. We called Fox Pexplo Man around the office because he was just so enthusiastic. His reaction to every good idea, it was like his mind was blown.
Yeah. Surprised he kept Ayana being his source of secret. Figured he'd brag about something like that.
He had a good spirit, you know, but it shows you. You never really know another person, what they're thinking.
Unless you're a telepathic private eye.
Yeah, Pexplo Man.
Tell me what else you know about Miles. Only met him unofficially.
You know those guys who are somehow everywhere? Know everyone? That was Miles.
Made a lot of intros, huh?
He made all the introductions. He introduced me to a whole new network of people, and I put them all on my team.
He sounds like the kind of government contact an entrepreneur would love to have.
I'm not an idiot. I knew he had his own goals. I just never imagined they'd include taking over my own company.
Hey, at what point did you stop being a part of Walker and Stone's plan?
I told you. They took the company from me.
And that's why you ran.
They were supposed to be running their test of the lethal drones out in the Thar Desert in Rajasthan. Instead, they tested their linchpin models.
What's a linchpin model?
Their idea is that killing a key individual, a linchpin, will put a chain of events in motion that will cause a desired outcome.
Like killing Franz Ferdinand started World War I.
They wanted to start some chaos between India and Pakistan. The models were flawed, but it almost worked. I tried to put a stop to it. That's why they took over. That's why I had to run.
We still have a ways to go. What do you plan to do when this is over?
You mean with Aroa? With Skeltec?
Assuming Miles is out of the picture.
You're assuming I don't go to prison.
Thought the whole idea of you being out here was that you were self-governing.
I mean, we escaped some regulations, but we still have holdings all over the world. And the lawsuits. I'm sure the families of my employees are already filing them from countries all over the world.
When did you get away from using dollars?
You like the Screds?
I don't understand them.
They're a cryptocurrency. As much as we could, we wanted to get away from the control of international banking.
But it's a made-up money.
All money is made up. It only has value because we all agree on it as a medium of exchange. Everyone in Aurora agrees to use Screds. And Scaletech makes sure to create a limited supply.
So if we all agree to use your play money instead of dollars, the economy still works the same way?
Money's only worth what you think it's worth.
My mind blown. I take it you spoke with Ayana Puri.
Yeah, she's still pretty shaken up, I think.
Oh, I think she's cool as a cucumber.
No, she's not like you. She thinks showing her emotions makes her look weak. It's a business thing.
Switching sides is a business thing, too.
I don't like everything she did, but she did do her best to protect the staff. Nomad, I ran away, but she stayed. She looked out for the rest of Skeltech.
She seems more cloak and dagger than business suit. But I'll admit, Aurora's a better place with her than without her. I suppose you got tricked into inviting private military contractors into Aurora.
Well, I mean, not exactly. We're self-governing.
You used to be.
Okay, we used to be. We needed security. Not just as a police force, but as security. At least that's what Miles got me to finally admit.
Against pirates in the moment and such.
Our drone security was limited. It still is. If unauthorized people land, we would know about it, but we couldn't do anything about it.
You're obviously not afraid of squatters. You were afraid of corporate spies.
We do get spies from time to time. Don't tell the shareholders, but the more our tech discoveries are disseminated throughout the world, the better off it'll be. But I was worried about the safety of our staff, the bombing. I just never imagined the antibiotics would be more deadly than the illness. Sentinel snuck a private army into the abandoned U.S. military complexes. Stone's been planning this takeover from day one. My colleague, Ayana Puri, who dealt with this, certainly has a better picture.
This guy, Trey Stone, doesn't make things easy.
He always seemed kind of ambitious. He and Walker always had some friction.
Walker mentioned Stone before, but never in a friendly way. I take it he isn't very likable.
He's a creep. But I've had to work with all kinds of people before. Sometimes you tolerate jerks just because they get the job done.
Did he get the job done?
I don't actually know. He kind of insulated himself. As a subcontractor, I couldn't supervise him the way I did other people. I had to trust Walker when he said things were going well.
That outcast bombing must have hit you pretty hard.
Maybe you read about it. I lost my wife in the September 11th attack on the World Trade Center.
Sorry. I didn't know. I guess I can't blame you for bringing in Stone and Sentinel.
Do you know what it feels like to lose someone?
Yeah, I do.
You get all torn up inside. You get to feel like you're falling, but it's an endless fall. You grab hold of anything you can.
So what am I grabbing hold of now?
I don't know. Us. We need you, Nomad. But you probably need us every bit as much.
Hey, I've been hearing about that World 2.0 stuff. And maybe the world needs a software patch, but a utopia? Really?
People out there in the rest of the world, they think the Earth's dying. They have this belief in scarcity. They think that we'll run out of energy, out of space, or out of water, or anything. And that makes every day a crisis.
And World 2.0 would fix that crisis?
It was more about fixing that mentality. I wanted to show the rest of the world that with innovation, with creativity, and with a little courage, it's easy to see the universe is abundant.
And how about now?
It's still an abundant universe. That hasn't changed. Just, I thought I could keep out jealous people. And the cowards.
No getting away from them.
No. I'm probably not as brave as I want to be either.
How did you buy Aroa in the first place?
I didn't buy it. I leased it. Aroa's technically part of New Zealand, but the U.S. had leased it for years.
Yeah. That's why there's the old naval station. But wouldn't it have been easier to rent a chunk of California or something? I'm sure there's a big stretch of Mojave that nobody wants.
Yeah. The abandoned naval station here piqued our interest initially, hoping we could piggyback on the Cold War infrastructure. That was a wash. But once we had visited Aurora, its biodiversity won us over. Good Hope Mountain has ice, Infinity is surrounded by fields, and the swamps of Finnbog sport as harsh a conditions as any good drone tester could wish for. We fell in love with the place. I bought the lease from the U.S. government.
And now these are your islands. No government but Skeltech.
Well, avoiding government regulation was a factor.
Oh, I'll bet it was. I met a lot of Skeltech employees who are mad at you.
The outcasts. Sentinel hasn't taken care of them yet?
I don't know. Do they have a point? Remember the Neanderthals, all that shit?
The Neanderthals interbred with Homo sapiens. You and I could both have Neanderthal DNA. So their whole idea of the next step of evolution destroying the last, it's nonsense.
So they're not winning Nobel Prizes. Fine. But we still need to work with them. For now. You healed up from the bombing attack? I mean, in your head?
Yeah, well, I had to deal with the aftermath. First team to inspect the site. I still remember all those broken windows, shattered shards of glass. I kept thinking, we can fix those, we can fix those. I got the windows fixed, but I stopped scheduling non-vital meetings in the Skell Foundation head office. It's different than when you see something on TV. It's just reporters and sirens. It's the smell. So acrid it singes your nostrils, like the energy around you has been sucked away, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And the bombers were never caught. We never knew if another one was coming. We suspected the outcast, but now that Sentinel's taken over, I wonder.
You're the one who asked Sentinel to step in.
Yeah, that's on me.
I need more about Paula Madeira. How long have you known her?
Years. I hired her right out of grad school. Actually, she was still in grad school. She was only 20, but she was just so smart. I knew that with her, I could lay the foundation of Skeltech's advanced drone program.
But are you friends? Was there something else going on, or what? There's something here I'm missing.
I think hiring her so young, she never really learned the art of adapting. She didn't like working with Walker. I could have handled her differently. I know I need to talk to her about that.
You didn't answer my question.
It hurt. She was so special and one of the first to truly believe. And in hindsight, she was also right. She saw right through Walker. She was immune to his charm. And I was deaf to her warnings.
Listen, I get that Maddox isn't exactly warm and friendly. But why do people hate her?
They don't hate her as much as they fear humanity's evolutionary destiny.
Whoa, that's a little intense. Even for you.
Grace Maddox is in charge of Skeltech's transhumanist research, Project Deus. Yeah, on a personal level, she's not, fun.
Yeah, she's also really into herself.
Sure, she's really effective. I gave her a huge budget. She wants more.
You give it to her?
Ayana Puri, my CFO, wouldn't let me. So Maddox cut costs. Instead of spending the time to perfect a true quantum computer, she developed a DNA-based computer that behaves like a quantum computer.
And you know what she's doing with that?
She plans to download her mind onto that computer. I know it sounds a little crazy and unbelievable, but someone will do it. And she should be first.
So, what does a billionaire arms dealer do? You know, whenever he's not manufacturing killing machines.
Skeltech is responsible for an extensive catalog of inventions over the past decades.
I'm listening.
Our first economically viable autonomous machine was the Skell Farmer, a harvester capable of recognizing the range and ripeness of crops. Since then, it's found unintended utility in mining and forestry.
So explain to me how you got here. From farming drones to war machines.
Our next invention, the Skell Transporter, was the first affordable smart delivery device, a new standard in the industry. The Skell Doctor may interest you, an advanced cousin specialized to carry sensitive medical supplies. You could easily shoot one out of the sky to steal its payload.
Could be useful.
Our Cherubim City and Sky models behave like mobile CCTVs, capable of facial and behavioral identification, and alert authorities in real time. I suggest you steer clear of them if you want to move undetected.
I'll keep that in mind.
My point is that I have dedicated my life to improving the human condition and relieving the population from the crushing weight of repetitive work.
Well, let's see if we can make sure your legacy's intact at the end of this. Genius. I need you to tell me everything you can about all the lethal drones out there.
Of course. Anything I can do to help undo what I've done. It all started with two basic military training drones. The Incubus for ground and its airborne sister, the Succubus. They were then multi-purpose, giving birth to new models. Eamon and his flying sibling Murmur were taught to patrol areas in the wild. Ime and Malphus were designated for location defense. The meanest models were Andrus and Stalus, search and destroy drones that the wolves just love.
I'm sure they're all perfectly tailored for whatever Walker's got in mind. Go on.
Behemoths are massive tank-like machines with incredible firepower. You'll mostly find them guarding infrastructure and strategic assets. Azraels, on the other hand, are long-range, high-altitude spy drones. They're capable of recon over a wide array of land and utilize heat sensors and pattern recognition to identify threats and intrusions. They aren't very well suited for battle, though. They mostly just point out targets so that strike forces can do the dirty work.
Thanks, genius. Wish me luck. Explain something to me, this Titan program. Why in the hell would you think it was a good idea to build giant killing machines? Aren't lethal drones enough?
I recognize that smaller drones are already deadly and far more cost-efficient, but I was influenced.
Walker.
He was always complaining that the existing drones didn't have enough media presence. These days, wars are fought on television screens. He wanted titans that could exude charisma and raise hope and simultaneously suffocate the spirit of a nation.
Sounds charming.
I find that once I'm given a task, my inspiration is fueled by the vacuum. I knew that what Walker wanted was entirely unnecessary for counterterrorism, but I got carried away. Now I shudder to imagine what he intended the whole time.
You're not the only one. Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
How was it playing both sides like that?
It's so simple for you, isn't it? You see your enemy and you fight him.
Huh. Simple ain't the word I'd use.
Do you think I was happy seeing what Sentinel was doing to my company, to Jace? Don't you think I wanted to do something to stop them? Just speaking out was dangerous.
So you cooperated?
Staying quiet and doing my job has given me access to information that can stop Stone. If I have to be hated as the face of Skelltech in order to intervene, then so be it.
You know, fighting is sometimes the only option.
I did what I could to survive. I'm not you. I'm not a soldier.
Neither was Fox. You and Jace two peas in a pod now?
Jace can think whatever he wants of me.
Can he? Was he just your boss, or was he your friend too?
I stood up for his employees. He was the one who left.
Interesting guy, that Stone.
Stone craves power and will do anything he can to retain it. He sees everything in the world as an opportunity for ownership. That includes this island.
So he doesn't share? With you, for example?
He treated me better than others. I won't deny that.
You seem to enjoy his generosity.
I didn't enjoy anything about him. He needed me because I could help him control the island. God knows what he'll do now that I've left.
He had you tied up in a cave. I think he has a plan. So were you best friends with Walker? Like everybody else?
He was protective of me, against Stone. To a degree.
Walker would have shown you a little more loyalty if he trusted you. He could probably tell you were scheming.
Scheming?
You're a little obvious, Puri. You've always got an angle. If Walker ever had any flaw, it's honesty.
He seized control of Skeltech. You call that honest?
Plenty of well-meaning governments have seized control of corporations. So for Walker, yeah, it was honest. So what do you know about Miles?
I only met him once, and that was one time too many.
That good, huh?
Superiority complex without the intellect to back it up. Nothing more than a puppet on a string.
Question is, whose leash is he on?
Exactly. Whoever it is, they are the real threat.
Knowing that they're out there makes me feel all fuzzy inside.
You and me both.
In case nobody else asks, I mean, with Fox dead, you got an opinion on what happens to Harmony?
Harmony isn't my daughter. I know she has a mother in the US somewhere, but...
Well, I'm just asking for your opinion.
she's a good kid. And Fox was always there for me. But I'm not exactly the nurturing type. Who's been keeping an eye on her here?
Maria, Mad's wife. I don't think she's got a problem with keeping an eye on her for now. Fox never let on that you were the one sending the videos.
He probably thought he was protecting me.
We could have done more if we knew we had the woman running Skeltech in our pocket.
I took too many risks as it was.
How'd a woman like you end up with Fox anyway?
He thought I was pretty, and he made me laugh.
Why put all the eggs into the Project Deus basket?
Anyone can see that the company was in a volatile state. Even with that billionaire Lomax looking to invest, we needed something to dangle. Project Deus was our golden carrot.
Oh, I'm not sure I buy into this whole transhumanism shtick.
The project has a lot of financial potential. It's only a matter of time until it catches fire.
He was hiding you from us. With all that propaganda you were in, folks don't trust you.
I don't care what they think. Stone and Sentinel forced me to make those.
How'd a woman like you end up with Fox anyway?
He thought I was pretty, and he made me laugh.
What's on Gollum Island? You must know.
The island was a test zone for drones. It recreated harsh weather conditions for researching the effects on mechanical components.
Sounds useful.
It was. Project Titan was launched there, but that project was always on the back burner. It was Walker who got it started again. Like its namesake, Titan became huge, leaking money like a sieve.
But you don't know what it is.
You'd have to ask Jace. He is the brain. I'm just the money.
See you around.
Cheers.
was stuck at a sentinel roadblock for 3 hours yesterday. What the hell is going on?
This shit with Walker has my head spinning.
I still can't believe it.
What if it was him all along?
What do you mean?
What if Walker was the target?
That's...
Think about it. They send us to find a missing ship. Conventional guys can do that. Shit, even the Coast Guard. But why us?
Jesus.
They've had a hard-on for him since the Middle East, and you know it. And now he's here? It just doesn't add up.
Yeah, but Walker? He's just...
I saw him. I saw him do it. Smoke ghosts just like they were any other assholes.
But they'd have said something.
Would they? They know our history.
Christ. Give me the good old days when a bad guy was a bad guy. You just knew. This is friggin' whacked.
Man. No, Weaver was a good dude.
I'll say. He didn't take a dump without checking his gear.
Well, he didn't take any chances.
How'd he do it?
Don't.
How did he do it?
You executed him. Like he was some rabid dog.
Backstabbing piece of shit.
I wonder if Midas made it.
That dude crossed the border outside Juarez, blackout drunk in ranger panties and flip-flops. If anyone can hold it together out here, it's him.
God, you remember that?
If he's out there, we got a shot.
Maybe.
Give me the three of us. You, me, Midas. We'll find that piece of shit, Walker. Run him right into the ground. We got to. For Weaver.
You're not exactly in fighting shape right now, man. You gonna be able to walk again?
I better. This ain't no way for me to go out.
You get some rest, pal. This is a pretty fancy setup for some backwoods yokels.
You're telling me. I've seen a lot of this stuff before, like in army hospitals, if you get my drift.
Wouldn't doubt it.
This is as good as any med hooch we've ever had.
Yeah, well, all things being equal, I'd rather be in one of our camps. At least I know I signed up for it. How you holding up?
Shit, man, I'm golden. Hang on, I've been working on my dance routine.
You probably need to get out of that bed first.
Yeah, my audition at Juilliard may have to wait.
I hope you have a backup plan. 'Cause that leg's done.
This is killing me. I'm useless here.
You've helped these people.
Sure, I talked them through some guard rotations and security protocols, but still.
We're all doing what we can. I'd rather have you in the fight, but at least I know this place is locked down.
I just... can't stand thinking I'm slowing you down.
And I'm just glad you're still around to bug the shit out of me.
Bite me.
Well, look at that. You're still in bed.
Eat shit.
You'll heal, old man.
Things are kinda... out of control, huh?
You can say that.
Dude, I've been in this game for a long time, you know? But I've never seen anything like this.
Bottom line, if we don't keep up with the technology, it'll take care of us. One way or another. I hate being stuck on this island.
It's growing on me. I love the trees.
You're an idiot.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you like it so much, since it doesn't look like we're leaving anytime soon.
Who wants to leave? Things are just getting interesting.
That's for damn sure.
So, what do we do now?
What we always do. We take the fight to them. This shit is hardly over.
We need help. There's good people here.
Yeah. First, we gotta help them get control back. Then we figure out who the hell is driving this bus. And smoke them.
Hell yeah.
You know, I guess I am glad you survived that crash.
Love you too, buddy. Cocktail?
How about two? Walker's dead.
No matter what happened, I know it wasn't easy. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm sorry things went down this way.
I was so angry. Seeing the things he did and what he became. Thought I'd feel better.
Dude, don't beat yourself up. You're still human.
This is bigger than Walker. He was a symptom and this disease is systemic.
It goes pretty high, doesn't it?
What worries me is what takes Walker's place.
Whoever it is, we'll be ready.
I hope so, brother. I'm tired.
I keep thinking about Bolivia.
Bolivia?
Yeah, dude. That goat rope in the jungle, shitty intel, no support, damn near got our asses shot off.
Ah, the good old days.
I mean, I get it. Tell us just enough to get the job done, fine. I accepted that a long time ago. But this is next level shit. I thought Bowman was shady.
Bowman was shady.
Yeah, but everything about this just stinks. I can't shake the feeling that they knew what was happening here. They knew and they didn't say shit.
Tell me about it. You have feelings about all this. I can tell.
You know me, man. I hate everything.
Nah, that's not gonna cut it. Seriously, talk to me.
We're not a solution anymore, man. We're a means to an end. And that end is usually some CIA bullshit. Like El Sueño. We get in the shit, go after some guy so they can cut a deal with him. It's bullshit, and you know it.
What's that got to do with...
Whatever's here on this island, we're not here to kill it. They sent us here to pretty it up and package it out. For them. They're just gonna cut some deal and put this to work for them. Like always.
I don't understand. How does Skell fit into this?
I don't know. I don't have any answers. But I'll tell you someone who does.
Walker. You remember Sam Fisher? You said something back then. It's been bugging me lately.
That you have the worst taste in clothes?
I'm serious. It was during Operation Watchman. Now, he was deleting files from a retrieved source. He said guys like us were gonna be out of a job soon. I didn't think much of it until coming here.
No shit. Imagine grunt drones. Operator drones. You won't have to worry about them being hungry or sad or tired. Shit, they wouldn't break their damn legs falling out of a crashing helo, rendering them useless and totally unable to help their goddamn teammate finish a mission.
You're totally helping me. You remind me, I'm not as ugly as I could be. That's huge, buddy.
Easy. I make the jokes around here.
Remember Twitch?
Twitch. Holy shit, she'd be having a field day out here.
I know. Wish we had her here now. She's supposed to be the best in the world with drones. And she must know a lot about Skell technology.
You think she'd dig this? Killer drones and a private army on the loose?
I just know we could use her help on this. You're not exactly walking too well, so fighting killer drones is gonna be tough.
That is not nice. See if I make you a margarita now.
You remember Silent Spade?
Unidad's attempt to become a nuclear power. No, I never heard of it.
Wasn't Skell Tech a part of all that? I mean, I keep remembering this one warehouse. I swear I saw Skell logos all over the place. God damn it, It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it was.
Doesn't that seem a teensy bit out of line with their mission statement? Nukes?
Maybe they didn't know. Maybe Unidad was misusing their technology. Maybe it was all bullshit. Or maybe Skell Tech isn't what everyone thinks it is.
I better not get nuked on this tiny little piece of shit island. I'm serious. I will be very upset if I do.
We're well beyond nukes, I think. It's a new century. War's evolved. I'd worry about something more subtle, or way more dangerous. Whatever that looks like. I'm having trouble making sense of some things.
Jesus, Tony. Okay, one more time. The knife is for cutting the food, the spoon is for eating it. We'll stay away from the fork for now. You'll just hurt yourself.
Right. Thanks. So anyway, asshole.
You're welcome.
Walker was chasing that Skell-Tech engineer in Bolivia same as we were, right?
Yeah?
And he claimed it was about getting at Bowman, but...
What, man?
What if he was working for Skell? That engineer sold a lot of sensitive information. So what if Skell sent Walker to clean that up?
Can't say I like the sound of that.
It would explain a lot.
Christ. I like it better when you're struggling with your utensils.
Seriously, man, you need to recover. You're way better with drone technology than I am. I need you out there.
Well, you're just gonna have to suck it up, Buttercup. Maybe if you had paid attention in cross-training.
I did, asshole. But it's your specialty. I'm just not as good with those things.
We all have our part to play, right? You've got your wheelhouse, and we all stay pretty much out of your way when you're working. That's how this goes. Keep pushing yourself with new challenges. Learn everything you can. Rally other folks to fill in the gaps.
That's great and all. But I still need you, man.
Aw, you like me. You really like me.
I don't know why bother.
Brother, I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it. I do. God knows I feel useless as hell holed up here. You're just gonna have to find another me. I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it. I do. God knows I feel useless as hell holed up here. You're just gonna have to find another me.
Another you. Like that could possibly exist anywhere.
Aw, I may cry.
Go to hell. Later, brother.
Later.
News said, bee outbreak. Didn't know bees had outbreaks. Besides, it's not even swarming season.
Well, the bee population seems stable all year.
Sentinel's up to something.
If I have to spend another night in this cave, I'll blow my brains out.
Careful what you wish for. Sentinel will gladly do the job for you.
I didn't come to this island to hide a cave. In my home.
I'm sure Sentinel's cleaned most of it out by now.
Gotta help you.
How do you put up with Mads?
Oh, he's not so bad. Once you get past that prickly shell, he's the perfect teddy bear when you need a cuddle in the cold night.
You know what? I'm gonna leave the cuddling to you. Besides, I'm still getting that prickly shell.
He just takes a little patience. We don't suffer fools out here. My husband sees something catawampus, he smacks it till it's straight.
Then I'll make sure I'm squared away. Fox didn't make it.
What happened?
He sacrificed himself. Yellowleg got him.
Damn. So much death. I'll miss that little fellow. He was an odd duck, but I kind of liked him.
So did I.
Hell, everyone liked him. He had a charm to him, even if he was a bit of a nerd.
He was a good guy.
You know, he reminded me of Mads in a way. Too damn giving. Always putting himself before others. I ain't surprised to hear he sacrificed himself. I just wish he could have asked for help, you know? Or at least thought about his daughter. It's just a damn shame. We could have helped him. He had friends here.
Someone's gonna need to look after Harmony.
Yeah. She's going to need a lot of help moving on from all this. She needs someone who...
Got anyone in mind?
Well, she's close with...
He is incredibly...
Yeah. All he does is work. And he spoils her to make up for it.
I'll see you around.
That's no way to raise a child.
Yes, ma'am.
What she needs is time.
How are the homesteaders feeling about Skell now?
Well, that's not so simple. Nobody's really thrilled with him, as you could have guessed. They avoid him, like the plague. But that suits him just fine. He don't have to mingle with us anyway.
Can't they just learn to live without the small talk?
I suppose I'll have to. People here seem to respect him more now. I guess that's what you call it. We thought he was a heartless fool before. But now... maybe he was just naive. You can't fault a man for that. I see that he really is dedicated and hardworking, and those are values that we homesteaders hold very dear to us.
I'll see you around.
You be safe out there.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a little far from home, aren't you?
I'm here on work. This is no vacation.
You don't look like the typical tourist. In fact, you look like you have a little bit of soldier in you.
Well, what's your story?
I came here looking for a little peace. Instead, I found the wolves.
It sounds like we have a common enemy. What can you tell me about them?
I've been doing recon on those pricks for months now. They're different than regular Sentinel.
I'll have to pay them.
What? You got a death wish?
Can I count you in?
Like I said, I came here looking for peace. But that doesn't mean I can't tell you where to find a fight.
I'll see you later.
Let me know when you're ready.
Cool.
You'll need
The
a
battlefield
will need more. Either
blood.
bring your own.
Rowan, you got a little military in you.
I guess I still look the part.
Tell me about...
Army, 10th.
Good.
That can't tell who.
We need deniability sometimes.
You're.
I guess I am.
Reckon you can't tell me the name of your unit.
I could, but...
You'd have to kill me. Right. So, where were you before?
.375 for 12 years.
A ranger. I should have known. Ran into a few of your guys in Afghanistan back in '03.
'03, I was there. It was a busy time.
No shit.
Oh yeah. Jumped into Kandahar in '01 and went...
Well, you definitely... So, where were you before?
Maybe we can talk about it another time. A lot of water under a lot of bridges.
No worries, brother.
So, Rowan, how is it that you settled here on Aroa?
You know, classic stuff. Came to the island, found peace. Didn't mind the neighbors until they pulled out the
I'll see
killer
you later.
drones. Cool, the usual. The battlefield will need more blood.
I'll see you later.
Cool. The battlefield will need...
You had any trouble with the roadblocks?
No, thank God, but I heard a bunch of us are trapped on the far side.
What is Mads doing, bringing soldiers into Erewhon? He's brought Sentinel down on us.
Sentinel would come for us, with or without.
I'll see you.
Sure. I'll be seeing you.
I don't want to fight, I want to grow crops.
We're in some deep shit, Nomad.
What are you talking about?
I hear Jesus Intel started a devastating chain reaction that led to his arrest. He's holed up in a drone support station by the bar. You need to rescue him and get him away from the area.
Where will I take him?
Jesus will know where to go. Just make sure he's protected at all costs.
On my way. I smell a work opportunity coming.
Well,
I could bring it back here.
Revolution, Brute Squad. We're fighting the most technologically advanced army the world has ever seen, and we barely have guns.
Everything that might be a good reason to hold off?
Every minute we're not blowing their shit up is a moment they get stronger. I know we're in water over our heads, but I need equipment and—
I'll see what I can do about the truck. So Project Deus.
Look.
I get that you're not a fan.
What's there to track? Apparently, during their giant asshole convention, the meatheads at Skeltec came up with a—
It sounds like Project Deus is something people are really putting their hearts into. Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little bizarre, but maybe in the long run, it could do some good.
You've got to be kidding. Every one of these people have spent their lives squeezing profit out of other people's sweat and blood. And right after they've gifted themselves immortality, I'm supposed to believe that they'll start caring about other people's best interests? I'm not buying that brand. It's in the name, Brute Squad. Project Deus isn't about cheating the god of death, it's about becoming him.
See you later,
For these
Haruhi.
people, not if I see you first, Brute Squad. Power.
Kidnapping Madeira and sending out hunting parties. Sounds like Stone's got a big heart-on for you suddenly.
Sudden, maybe. You really think we had anything to do with him declaring martial law? Stone would have found a way no matter what happened.
That's one hell of an endorsement.
At least Walker seemed to have a purpose. But if he ever thought he was in control, he was fooling himself. It's only ever a matter of time before Stone remembers he doesn't play well with others.
Your people look like they're barely holding it together.
What, you mean these nerd farmers aren't ready for Brute Squad boot camp? It was hard enough turning these pocket-protecting 4-H'ers onto vandalism, but infiltration and sabotage? It's a goddamn miracle that we've survived this long. But we're not fooling ourselves. We know at the end of the day, we're just standing with our fingers in a dike.
Yeah, well, the tide's coming in. Surviving off the grid is one thing, but if you don't start punching above your weight, you're gonna get slaughtered. If you don't think your lot's up for that, best thing would be to scatter to the wind.
If not us, then who?
I want to know about the bombing.
It was a mistake.
There was nothing strategic about the Scout Foundation. It was an office building. You weren't even at war yet, so why do it at all?
Attention? Skeltech completely ignored us when we tried to meet with them about transhumanism. We've been getting the runaround in Aurora's parliament, who were a bunch of Skeltech groupies anyway. There was no other way to get people to wake up about what was really happening.
Except the civilians that were in the building. Not doing much waking up, are they?
I get it, okay? We've been through this before. If there's something I can actually do about it, let me know. Till then, drop it.
Is it over? Or do you plan on playing terrorists some more?
We aren't terrorists. We were activists who went too far. Now I'm not sure what we are. But causing civilian casualties again would destroy whatever ethical glue is still holding us together.
I was out at Darkwood Island. Looked like Skell built a city and abandoned it. Unless he's planning to turn a row into a movie backlot, I can't quite figure out why he'd do something like that.
How else would he test the AI in his drones? The archipelago is chock full of dedicated training fields.
God damn it. The ones training there were combat models. Sentinel's building a whole damn army. Can you tell me why Sentinel's got a prison set up in the survival shelter complex?
Nope, never been. Never planned to either, but I've heard about it. Given Skell's vision, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. An illegal prison in a remote fortress, on top of a mountain, surrounded by ice and snow where no one in their right mind would go looking? No offense.
None taken. But the size of the place, it's insane. Looked like you could fit a row's whole population in there.
I can't see a scenario where Sentinel would use all the space, but clearly they were thinking big, which gives one pause.
Well, I retired Herzog, who was running the place, but I'm sure that's not gonna do anyone any good. We'll just have to see. How do you manage to keep so many combat supplies for the rebellion?
Well, Sentinel keeps a close eye on frags, C4, and landmines, so they're an unholy bitch to get. Most of our explosives are homemade from flashbangs or diversion grenades we find hanging around security facilities. If you want the good stuff, you're gonna have to raid Sentinel outposts. With any luck, you might be able to find a stash in the Cold War installations, but even those tend to have a Sentinel infestation problem.
Well, in the past life, I was an exterminator. See you later, Haruhi.
Not if I see you first, Brute Squad.